What up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we are looking at Delta's earnings report here today. They reported actually this morning, really early this morning, saying that they are losing $100 million in cash a day during the COVID-19 travel slump and lockdown. So this is not a little bit of cash here. That's a lot of cash. And the stock's basically down 2.5%, nearly 3% for the day. Again, this would have been a much steeper if there wasn't already discussions of Jay Powell and Trump and the overall U.S. government, and aka the United States taxpayer coming in to help them out. This would have been substantially cut into their overall base of business. A couple of key points that they highlighted in this article, again, I'll put this in the link on the comment or the description box down below, is they're saying that Delta is going to be a smaller airline for some time. They're going to be chopping, slashing through the recovery and after the virus is contained. So they're saying, even though if we get a vaccine in a year from now, it's going to take us 2 or 3 years to recover from this. And he says, I hope it's sooner, but I need to be realistic with our planning. So with this being said, which you see a lot of people saying, oh, Delta used to be $65, it's going to go back up there in a year. You're literally having the CEO and the CFO saying, no, it's not. It's going to take 2 or 3 years, if that, to be able to get back to where we were due to this overall pandemic and causing just so much damage to our business, and basically having to cut back, scale back, and do all these other various things to protect the company. And then the care and burning through $100 million a day is a rate that is cannot be cannot be held for a very long period of time. Even though they did report their first down quarter, I believe, in 5 years, so it's very not most positive news, but that being said, it still didn't get to the low of $19 as we've seen before. I think it could maybe slowly grind down there due to the fact of people probably today or even 2 or 3 days out getting the headwinds of what Delta reported, because normally what happens when earnings come out, a lot of people just jump into it's going to sell off and continue to sell off, but it usually takes 2 or 3 days to fully clear out, wash the hands, get the people out of the stock who didn't really want to own it. Is it a good place to buy? This is kind of where we got into it, so we'll see. I'm going to kind of think about this some more before I want to get into this. This is going to be a longer term investment. This is not just something that's going to be printing money anytime soon, because if you look back on the daily chart, it was $63 basically last summer, and then it just of course traded sideways for most of the time, and then kind of came trashing down. Looking at some particular levels here, I'm looking at it holding hopefully above 20. Again, it could slide lower. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. No one does. These are not predictions. These are just, if this happens, I'm going to do this. So my plan is, if it continues and kind of glides into 20, this is where I might need to add a little bit, because again, it's a very small position for the overall portfolio. It's more like a swing of like, hey, like this just seems really too low, and a potential grind higher, I mean years higher. And of course, if it breaks above $26, $27 and continues going higher, that's going to be good again. But that's going to be a lot of resistance overhead, even though with the bad news and the headlines reading $100 million of cash being lost a day, and then they're trying to cut that down by half, so they're only losing 50%. So the necessary steps to get from 100 to cut back $50 million a day is going to be a lot. And the sadly thing is I think it's going to affect a lot of the employees, a lot of people having to maybe not have the opportunity to continue to work. I'm not sure. They weren't very clear on that within the article, and I have not read the full transcript of the Delta Airlines breakdown. So how are other airlines looking at this? So we can look at AAL. A lot of people own that. American Airlines. That's basically down 7% today. They have earnings coming out the 24th before the market as well. So that is on Thursday? Friday. So on Friday, this chart looks exactly the same. This is kind of like a sympathy for Delta. And then we can look at Love, which is Southwest. They're also down at like nearly 2% here, trading very close to its lows at $29. So they're actually might have a triple bottom here. Of course, they have earnings on the 28th, which is the following Tuesday. Yep, Tuesday. I got something right. Yes. And we could see lower prices in that as well. So I want to be completely clear with people that this is not going to be a quick recovery. I don't see that as, again, you have literally the CEO and CFO of Delta saying the exact same thing, saying, hey, this is going to take years, okay? So all of the people who are out there saying, like, oh, I'm going to make a quick double in American Airlines or things like that, I don't see that happening. Like, the chart's not saying that. It's still, a lot of these moving averages are still pointing down. Unless someone comes in from Mars and just buys everything up and just pumps it, it's not going to be even get into the 50% retracement by this year, most likely, even though the vaccine and a lot of other things need to happen before a lot of more people get on to travel and things like that. So that being said, that's my look at the overall airline sector as of right now. So quick little key takeaways. For Delta, we want to see it kind of break above the 26.40 level, and then if it drifts lower to like the $20 level, we might be adding there. Of course, we want it to go higher because we have a position in it, but it's not looking too shabby right now. Those are my takes. If you guys own any airline stocks, please leave it in the comment section. I'd like to hear what you guys are doing and things like that. Greatly appreciate everyone's support. And again, thank you for everyone who joined the live stream last night. We're looking to do those more often because it's a lot of fun to interact with a lot of the community and so forth of other investors and things like that. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.